Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core 4 Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
They'll be good. We got an extra person.
He'll be good.
Happy Wednesday to you all, guys, and welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day so far. Before we get going on today and how we can help you out, either get in shape, stay in shape, or if there's somebody else that you know that would like to be in shape or become healthy, if you guys could do us one small favor, and that's subscribe to this podcast, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, Audible, whatever you're watching or listening on us on. There's a little subscribe button. If you press it, you'll get notified every Wednesday when our new episode drops, so you don't have to scroll back weeks and weeks and weeks, and it helps us bump up the charts of health and fitness podcasts, and it will be greatly appreciated. Now, today's podcast, guys, we want to talk to you about something that we all have to kind of come to terms with a bit. It's not a bad thing, but it's as we age, our goals and kind of our exercise philosophy and the things that we were shooting for also begin to change as well. And there's people that begin exercising when, let's say, they're 17, 18 years old. And there's people who begin to exercise, let's say, if they're 50, 60, 70 years old. Great, everybody's starting, it's all healthy. But the person who's 18, 19, 20 compared to the person who's 50, 60, 70, I guarantee you they have completely different goals that they want to accomplish, right? And so just because you exercise, yes, it's great for you. I don't want this to be like, oh my God, I have to switch up my routine. That's not what I'm saying. But as you progress, as we age, as we get older, you have to adapt kind of your goals and what you want out of working out, what you want out of your health and out of your fitness into kind of these different points inside of your life. And for instance, when I was like 18 or even less than that, I think I first started working out when we had like football camps when I was like 16 years old. I had no clue what I was doing. All the dudes just wanted to get jacked, right? So they were just doing bench presses, bicep curls, never any legs. And you just wanted to be this like big, strong dude. You wanted like to showcase muscles. And then you kind of learn, okay, this isn't doing much. If I just have two strong muscle groups and everything else is weak, I have to begin to even this out. So then you turn into, your mid-20s and you realize the importance of working everything, your legs, your back, your chest, everything kind of has to be harmonious. And you're still maybe able to push it well. You get into your 30s and you're like, okay, I'm starting to wake up maybe a little bit achy. Maybe I don't bounce back as quick from workouts. So maybe you have to bring the intensity down slightly, monitor some certain areas. And then you get into your 40s and 50s and 60s. And again, this is being painted with a very broad brush. So if you are like, hey, well, I can still do stuff, that's fine. But I know for a lot of us, we have to modify certain things, right? And we have to go, okay, I can't pound on my hips or my knees anymore like I used to, or be able to load a bar up with 300 pounds and do back squats because I'm going to be paying for it for the next 2 weeks. So you have to keep in mind, as you grow, as you evolve with your health and fitness, no matter if you've been doing this and you're a complete newbie, or if you've been doing this for years or decades even, to keep kind of readapting your protocols to what suits you in the moment right now. And if you want to be a strong individual and you want to lose body fat, that can be your goal for the next 50 years, and that's great. But if you're training the same way that you were, let's say when you were in your teens or your early 20s, and maybe you're in your 60s now, it's going to be a lot harder maybe on you and your joints to keep up with that pace and that tempo. So there may be some ways to modify stuff so you can keep exercising. But the goal of this podcast, guys, is to kind of get you to open your eyes and realize, okay, what are some things that I can tweak? Where are maybe some modifications that I can do? Can I ramp stuff up? Can I ramp stuff down? Because as the years start stacking up, we have to constantly kind of adapt to our environment and change as we grow.
Yeah, I think you absolutely nailed it. It's all about sustainability. That's the big word that we always talk about when it comes to health and fitness, right? And then there's health and fitness in its own right is so complex because it gets into, like, there's so many different areas. You can be an athlete, that you have to work out a ton to be an athlete, but that's not necessarily healthy for the guy who works, at the grocery store, or is necessary for the guy who works at the grocery store. And then there's the physique competitors who need to look real big and broad and have these crazy ripped abs and all this. Well, that's not necessarily healthy to obtain if you're just trying to live your normal life. So it's very hard to talk about when it comes to health and fitness with what is sustainable and what is not. And oftentimes we get stuck comparing to non-sustainable things. And a lot of times that's our own past. Like you said, I go, oh, I wish I was just 16 again with the bros in the gym, just being able to rip out as much as I wanted to. But like you said, if I just loaded up the bar with 300 pounds of back squat, first of all, probably couldn't even do it right now anymore. But even if I could, I would be absolutely miserable and ruined for weeks. It would be a long recovery, and I don't feel the need to do it anymore. Now, that's not to say I never will again, but if I did want to do that again, it's going to take a lot of mindfulness and training to safely build back up to it. And I think sometimes, to kind of piggyback on this topic, is jumping back into fitness at the same clip as what you used to, not realizing, oh, 5-6 years has gone by. Yes, I've still been working out. I've still been moving my body, but the intensity has gone back. I don't lift as heavy or as quickly or as competitively, whatever the world is. And that's okay, because the grand scheme is health. You're still moving your body every day, doing all the things, the pieces, keeping it in play so that when you are a little old lady or little old man, you are still fairly independent, which is what, the end goal is.
Yeah. And there's I might have mentioned this a while back, but there was somebody shared a meme on like Instagram or Facebook or something, and it was a 70-year-old lady, and they were two side by sides of two 70-year-old ladies, and one 70-year-old, maybe she wasn't 70 something, and she was pushing a walker, and then there was another 70-year-old that just completed a marathon, and both of these women were just about the same age, but you can kind of see what years of training smartly has done with one person where they're able to complete a marathon at plus 70 years old. And then you've seen the other side of the coin where somebody that hasn't done the things for years or decades before that, where they're pushing around a walker. And both of these people are the exact same age, but their habits kind of leading up to that point completely reshaped where they were. And you can use it for anything, for 60-year-olds, for 70-year-olds, for 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
It kind of brought them to this point where now they're on like completely different trajectories, right? So especially now, like 70-year-olds now, or 60-year-olds or 50-year-olds now aren't like 50, 60, 70-year-olds like 30, 40 years ago. Like
Right.
People are much more health conscious now. You're able to exercise. People know the benefits of exercise. People know the benefits of taking care of themselves, eating a somewhat balanced diet. And, we're just healthy and healthier individuals for the most part all around. And people kind of know the benefits of staying in shape. But, being able to evolve and adapt things to where you can keep yourself healthy, not for just 3 years, but for decades and decades and decades. And just like you said, like if I was to go to train like the bro style workouts at 38 years old to go back to what I was doing when I was 16, like I would be miserable. And part of that too, guys, you have to realize like the older you get, there's the more like shit you're going to have on your plate. It's not like you just like, okay, when I was in high school, I woke up, I went to class all day. I had gym class or weightlifting class for football or sports. And then I went home, I did homework, and that was pretty much my day. But now it's like, okay, I got to get in a workout. I got to cut the grass this afternoon. I got to weed whack. I got to help out with the kids. School's starting. My wife needs help with stuff. I got to, still go to work every day. So you're kind of spread pretty thin. So you have to kind of keep in mind the way you're training, you want to kind of complement your lifestyle as well. You don't want to go, okay, I can hammer this workout, but now I'm going to be a dysfunctional adult for the next, 5 to 7 days because of the
Sure.
way that I worked out.
Sure.
You can still keep your muscles strong. You can still keep your muscles healthy, but it's a matter of just kind of finding that balance and realizing, and this isn't a bad thing. I don't want to be like, oh, you're getting older, you have to back things down. If you're feeling good and everything's great, then fantastic. But, kind of realizing and give yourself the truth bomb and being like, you may not be a spring chicken anymore, and that's okay. That's fine. That's part of getting older. And you may not be able to jump as high as you used to, or run as far as you used to, or lift as much as you were able to, decades ago, again, which is okay. But understanding that I'm still doing this to keep myself, like we had those two 70-year-olds side by side, to be the 70-year-old who's able to run marathons still and train, than to be like, oh, well, I can't do X, Y, and Z, so I have to kind of throw in the towel on myself.
Yeah, it always, ends up coming down towards the same exact thing, that it's such a mindfulness head game that we all play. Everyone wants to stay young forever, right? We have this made up peak in our mind of, oh, this was when I was the best looking, and this is when I was in the best in shape, and I do it too, and you do it too. Everybody does it, right? It's kind of one of our flaws, but that's not, if you're stuck in the real broad picture, if you spend so much time focused on that, you're going to be missing what's going on now. So, like, yeah, your health goals change, and I think that's what's the most important. Let's say you were a competitive athlete for a while, and now all of a sudden you're 45, 55, 60, 70. It's like, yeah, but there's also, you're not a competitive athlete anymore. Sometimes that's what we need to do in this space. And same thing with just going and doing a bro gym. I used to hit the gym 5 days a week, me and my buddies, and then we'd go play basketball for 3 hours every day. And it's like, well, if you played basketball for 3 hours right now, you would be ruined. But if you never stopped playing basketball for 3 hours, you would be able to hang on to it a little bit longer. But you stopped because of whatever reason, XYZ, and that's okay. Like, times have changed, things are different now. The only thing that is the same is you need to be doing something continuously. You still need to be moving, you still need to be focusing on your health, you still need to be doing exercising, but it's not going to look exactly the same. It's going to be different, just like it was different when you started then. The great quote from The Office, the greatest show of all time, is, I don't even know it. I'm going to say a great quote and then I don't know it exactly. I wish you knew you were in the good old days before you left them, right?
Yeah.
Andy Bernard. And it's the same thing with health and fitness world. We're always going to look back going, grass is greener. Oh, I had the best six pack, or I used to be able to deadlift a house, and I could jump and I could run, and you were sore and you were hurt and you didn't want to go to the gym then either. You nursed a hip flexor, you had a hip pointer, you sprained an ankle, you did all of that then too. We were just different. We bounced back or whatever. So we get back into the gym and you go, oh, it doesn't feel the same way as it used to. I should quit. I should stop. I should slow down. I should less. It's like, no, we kind of look at everything with rose-colored glasses, and we make it up. We change the narrative in our mind for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, why we do it, but we do. I think about that all the time when I think of something going, oh, those were the good old days. And then I go, oh, I remember. Really, when I think about it, I was super stressed about blah, 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 blah during that time. Like, you can figure it out, So that's, I think, the broad understanding, and kind of if you get to that understanding of it, it's easier to kind of go to the gym every day and go, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be how it was. But hey, I'm moving forward. Who I'm becoming it's still here. It's more important than what's happened, right? I'm going to focus on who I am tomorrow instead of who I was yesterday, because that's still in control of me. And every day I'm 1% better. And yeah, I'm not, instead of deadlifting 350 pounds, for a ton of reps, I'm going to do 200 pounds and a nice controlled amount, and I'm just going to do it once a week, and I'm not going to be competitive. I'm not going to race somebody to see how many pull-ups we can do, and I'm not going to sprint, around a track like I used to and do. But I'm still every day showing up and doing something, which means I'm still benefiting my body, which means I'm still going to be that 90-year-old who's independent. So who's really winning? We kind of get lost, and then all of a sudden we have these days where we're like down on ourselves, or we don't want to go to the gym anymore, because you can, in that same breath, you can go to the gym, try to deadlift 350 pounds and go, oh shit, I can't do this anymore.
I'm not what I used to be.
and you can get fully demoralized and not want to go to the gym, not want to show your face for whatever reason. And it all happens in here, right? No one cares. You don't care that I can deadlift 350 pounds. The person next to me doesn't care. Nobody cares. It's you concocting this whole image obsessed thing, and you feel as if you're letting yourself down and you're embarrassed now to do it or whatever it is. Who knows? It's probably a case by case basis. So yeah, if you find yourself going, hey, things are different now. My workouts are going to look different. My workouts are going to feel different. I'm not going to be as sore after, or I'm not going to be as elated after, or I'm not going to be like honestly, for me, I get that, and I think we've talked about this before. The feeling when a workout's done, you're lifted, right? You feel better, you're energized, you feel great. That still happens no matter what. If I get up and take a walk, I feel better than before I was walking.
Yeah.
So, especially after a workout, and like how we work out 30-minute HIIT classes or whatever, I'm going to feel good after. But I don't get that elated feeling of like, whew, I really did something. I'm on cloud 9. Hey, Pigman. Unless I really, really go hard. Who's that?
Hi, Mr. Rowan.
That's Uncle Corey.
But no, and if you think about too, like even using like whatever your favorite athlete is, oh, those are pretty bubbles.
He has bubbles. Okay, let's go get you back on trash truck. Come on, let's go see.
But if you think about like even just whatever your favorite athlete is, how there's a shelf life on that too, and they're like, there's a reason why for a lot of sports, whether it be football or hockey, they kind of all find this sweet spot in their career where everything's clicking and they're humming and they're good and they're young and they're vibrant. And then they kind of reach this tipping point where they're like, oh, I can't keep up anymore, or I lost a step, or I can't perform at the same level that I used to.
Right.
And for a lot of these guys, you still don't see them completely lethargic. They still skate, or they still play hockey, or they still run routes or go to the gym and things like that. But they're like, okay, I have to understand that I'm not at that same level that I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. It doesn't mean that I completely quit on myself. But, part of it is like the passion for the sport or the passion for your exercise or passion for what you're doing. They still carry that going forward. They go, okay, the competitive side of me or the crazy part of me that used to be able to skate like a maniac or run like a maniac, they're like, might not have that anymore, but I still have a passion for taking care of myself, taking care of my health. I still want to exercise. Maybe you still like playing whatever it is, basketball, pickleball, hockey, whatever the thing is that you enjoy doing to kind of keep yourself healthy and young. But you'll see them carry this on still for years and years and years, even once they stop playing at the professional level. But it's only because they just couldn't keep up with kind of the nature of the pace of the sport that they're playing. Their body just kind of rode it till the wheels fall off.
Right.
Where now they have to go, okay, I'm still progressing. I'm still exercising. I still love doing this. It still keeps me healthy. I still get to kind of meet with people and have fun and enjoy myself and take care of myself. And that's kind of the golden rule behind all of it is you're doing this to take care of yourself for eons and eons and eons.
Yeah, well, the thing is that is set with the sport. Like in that hockey example, you're in the NHL. You have to perform at a certain level forever if you want to be at that level. That's not the reality for all of us. So skeletons.
Bones.
This is going off the rail. When he's no longer interested in TV, we're screwed. Yeah. So if we connect. Okay. I always think Jaromir Jagr. I think he's a great example.
He's the unicorn, though, where he's still. But they've asked him, and he's like, I drink Coke before the game. He's like, I'll have Pepsi on the bench.
8 cups of coffee a day or something like that. But the thing is, he just
doesn't
do it. He still doesn't do it like he used to. Like he
he's 50-something years old.
But it's not the NHL, and it's like he doesn't do what he was doing anymore. He's doing a version of it, but he's been able to master the version of it. And I think we all do that too. And I think that's kind of a learning curve where we almost get burnt out and frustrated at it, where we stop going in general because we go, oh, I can't do it like I used to, so what's the point? And it's like, you can still do a whole lot, and in fact, you still need to. It's mandatory. It's not something you can just stop. You can't just stop taking care of your body and expect things to be okay, right? So
Yeah,
it's cool to
and like you
compare
said,
it to sports, because sports, they get essentially kicked out of the league. That's what retiring is. I don't think they want to stop playing. Some do, but they can't. They don't compete at the same level anymore. It's not because they're bad. It's not because
they gave up.
They don't work as hard anymore, or they stop trying, or it's just, it's what times come and they pass, and we get to points and they pass, and so it's.
But he's a good example, though, how like he was killing it in the NHL, couldn't hang anymore just because he was getting up there in age, and they're like, "We're going to send you to the minors." He's like, "Great, I'll keep playing." Then they're like, "All right, we're going to send you over to the KHL." Great, I'll keep playing.
Yep.
Did you hear how they were going to cut him? So he ended up buying the team and then just signed himself to a contract.
No way.
And then they were like, yeah. So he's had all of his hockey money. And so he's like, well, what if I just buy the team? I'll become whatever it is, the GM or the owner.
Oh my God.
And then I'll just sign myself to a contract. And he's like, they're like, yeah, I guess you can do that. I think he's like a second or third liner. He still like puts up some points, but that's kind of the idea behind it is you're like, I'm going to keep doing this because I love doing it, because it keeps me healthy, because I enjoy it, whether it be this, that, or the other thing. I'll have to adapt some stuff, but God willing, I'm going to be able to keep playing hockey or keep exercising till I'm 60, 70, 80-year-old now because of this. There's a guy at the skate Saturday, Jimmy. Remember the older guy that always skates?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him all summer. And so I was like, oh, I hope he's doing okay. I haven't seen him all year. There's this guy, let me give you a backstory. There's this guy that plays hockey with us on Saturday nights. His name's Jimmy. I think he's 82 years old. And there's an unwritten rule that he gets his own spot on the bench. He's like untouchable. So he gets his own spot on the bench. He gets to come off and come on whenever he wants, even though it's like a sixth guy. And if he ever has the puck or it's ever by him, pretty much everybody, you don't touch him. He takes the puck, does what he wants to do, scores, and then just goes and sits back on his spot again. Mm-hmm. And he'll take a break for 5 minutes. Could be 2 minutes, could be 10 minutes. But it's like when he says, I'm going out, everybody knows there's an extra guy. If the puck is near him, everybody just let him do his thing. But I was like, if that's me at 82 years old and I'm hanging out with 16-year-olds doing their thing still, like, awesome. The fact that you're able to do this in your 80s still and go on a Saturday night to go play hockey, it's still a blast. And he's like, I'm never going to stop coming till my doctors tell me that I can't do it or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's all you can ask for.
It's an ego thing, a lot of us. Got to check our ego a little bit, to be like, who cares? If Jaromir Jagr was like, I'm not in the NHL, I'm done, then he'd have been done. But he goes, oh no, I love doing this. I'm going to keep doing it, and it's going to be different, and it's not going to be up to so-and-so standards or whatever, yada, yada. But yeah, he would have been done 10 years ago or however, because he's like 52 or something, still playing professional hockey. So yeah, in many ways, we can relate that to, I can do it for sure. I used to work out a lot more intensely than I do now. I'm still happy with my health, and if it was one thing where I pumped the brakes too much and realized, oh, I'm not liking the way I'm feeling, looking, this is harder, then I'd be like, okay, I got to ramp it back up a little bit and find this ground. But also I know if I tried to just jump back in and do some of the workouts I was doing, 6-7 years ago, I'd be in a bad way. I have to build back up. If I really have a desire to do it, I could, but I'm going to have to restart in a way. I'm going to have to start now, and then 2-3 years from now, maybe I'll be back similar. Maybe, but I don't want to. I don't have a desire to. I want to, that was a little more competitive, and I just don't want to. My focus is to just be around forever and to be able to do cool shit, right? I want to just be the dad that is not limited. That's really it. That I was just talking to Chance about this last night. She worked out in the garage and was just like, yeah, I want to get back into it. And I was just like, well, everything, it's not, because she did a challenge with us when we first opened the Wixom gym 6 years ago. And she's like, that was the best shape I would ever have been in my life. And she obviously worked out a lot since then. She had Rowan, and then she hasn't gotten like fully back into the swing of working out since Rowan. And so she was just kind of like harping on herself. And we literally had very similar to this conversation. It's like, well, it's not about then, it's about now. Like you just, at that
Day
point,
one,
you could
just build off of day one, and then build off of day two, and then build off of day three.
Yeah, I told her that'd be like when she started the challenge with us 6 years ago. She went back to, well, I just want to get back to my high school volleyball days. It's like, no, you didn't do that. You didn't think about those days at all. You went, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Start. You focused on in front of you. So I catch myself doing it all the time. She does it. I catch so many different people coming into the gym saying that, everyone. And I was just talking with Chelsea about this too, is we work in a very, very nervous, the first time we meet people, they are almost always uncomfortable and nervous just because of the nature of a gym. It's just
like
one
the
of
first
those,
day of school.
yeah, it's one of those spaces that you're just like, ugh. So every single first interaction we have on a day in and day out basis, it's almost always trying to soothe somebody, and be like, hey, this is a great thing. This is a great spot. But one of the first things out of all everyone's mouth is, I used to be in great shape. I used to be in great shape. Some, I'm sure, telling the truth. Many, I'm sure, are not. It's just this comfort thing to think back and go, man, I used to be able to do whatever I want. It's like a lot of us never could. We just think we could. We're just in kind of this weird denial thought, and it's like, no, you just start today. Go forward. Maybe you'll be saying that about yourself in a year. It's not over. You're not done. You're not just bed bound. Like, no, you're fine. Come on, let's get going.
I agree. And
Yeah.
like we were talking about, just with different periods in your life, like how the person who's 20 and 70 years old, even though they're both exercising, I can bet $1 million that the person who's 70 is going to go like, if I look great, then bonus points for me. But they're like, I want to train to be mobile, to be able to get off the ground, to be able to lift stuff up, to be able to go shopping, to be able to do this. And they go, it's cool if my arms look great in the process. Awesome. But, that's what I want to be healthy for, as opposed to the person who's maybe 20 years old where they're like, yeah, I'm already mobile. I'm already active. I can run, jump, get off the ground, climb stuff. I want to, tight ass and great arms and all this stuff. And you're like, okay, cool. So even though these people are both exercising, there's two completely different philosophies and reasons behind why they're doing it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a lady talk to me about how it was just online, and she was like, I'm considering liposuction. Are you mad at me? Do you hate this? Are you not? Is this not okay? Are you in support or in support? And I just said, listen, I'm in the business of health. I'm not in the business of what you look like. I don't care. The thing is, what we do and what I do is, you're gonna like the way you look, but it takes work. But that doesn't make you healthier. I don't care. If you want to do it because that's what you want to do, whatever. But I'm my goal with you is to get you healthy. It's health. It's health. It's a very skewed line of yeah. And when you're 20, you take everything for granted. Feeling good. You wake up every day, you feel good. You can drink 30 beers before, and you wake up the next morning and still feel good. You're just invincible. You go, yeah, I feel good, of course. So you go, I'll focus on those biceps, my ass, whatever. When you're 70, I'm sure a lot of mornings you wake up and you don't feel good. And so you work out and get your body moving to feel good every day. And that is enough, because you don't need to worry about the this and that. And then, the same thing with this idea of this lipo. She's just like, I had a baby and I just feel like nothing's going to go back. And listen, I'm just like, listen, that's totally up to you. I don't care. I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm not going to do anything for it, but I'm letting you know that this is a health focused thing. It's not a physique focused thing. I'm focused on your health. I want you to move this way because I want you to have good cardio, strong lungs, strong heart health. I want you to move. I want your joints to move. I want you to be healthy moving around your joints. I want you to be mobile. I want you to get up and down off the ground when you're 90. It's like that doesn't come from liposuction or what you look like in the mirror. That comes from doing this hard shit every day.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing. So it was kind of, I could sense this light bulb kind of being like, oh, I've never thought about fitness like that. I've thought about what I've looked like this whole time. It's like, okay, I get it. It can be very motivating, but sometimes that switch is really all it takes to be like, okay, I'm waking up today and I'm moving in some facet. I'm moving because it's good
Well, and
for
it's
me.
like the silver lining of it all. So it's like whether it's before liposuction, during liposuction, or after liposuction, that underlying goal of being a healthy individual is still always there.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So it's not like you fix the problem just because you got this. So whether you start getting healthy before you get it, if you do get it,
Right.
once it's done, you still got to go back to getting healthy again.
You still got to keep it up. Exactly. It's not the answer. That's something totally different. That's a physical thing that you want. It'd be like if she said she was getting a nose job. I'd be like, okay, I don't care. Do what
That's what you want to do, then go ahead.
Do what you want. I mean, that's up to you. That's your prerogative. But that's not what we're doing here. When you show up to meet with me and we're talking and I'm making these meal plans for you, that is not what I'm doing. Just so you know, it comes with it. You lose weight, you do this, but we're losing weight because it's healthier for you to move around in this weight. It's better for your knees for you to be X amount of weight instead of this amount of weight. It's better for your being able to move, for your back, for this, for that, for that. Yeah. It's two different, very, very different things. And at the end of the day, the thing that matters the most is health. And I think the younger you can identify that, the easier it becomes to work out. And the more peace you are with that workout sucked, that workout didn't feel good, that I didn't do this as
I had to modify some stuff.
Yeah, I had to modify. You go, okay, well, you didn't just sit around on your ass today. You moved. Look at the people next to you that are all just not doing it, but you showed up and did it, or yeah, it's powerful. It's empowering. And you just go, oh, okay, I feel good. And you go, yeah, cool. Success. That's life, baby. We did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
But God bless it. Good one today, baby.
I'm a
good
fan.
one. Good one.
I'm the biggest fan of this podcast.
I know.
I'm the number one
this
fan.
Is a good one. And we got a secret guest today in Baby Rowan.
Yeah, I hope that was okay. He just wanted to show Uncle Corey his
skeleton.
Bubbles and his skeleton.
That man is going to lose his mind on Halloween.
We're getting there. I know.
He's going to lose his mind.
I'm probably going to have to buy a 12-foot skeleton for in front of my house, and I don't want to.
Just going to stare at it. Just his little body in front of a 10-foot skeleton just staring up for hours.
There are bones. Can we stare at bones? It's like, of course. Of course we can go stare, but your dad's dying over here. It's also like $300. I'm not trying to spend $300 to have to store bones 11 months out of the year.
No, I know. I was telling somebody that at the gym. They were looking at it. They're on sale at Lowe's right now. And they were like, it's great when it's in your yard. But they're like, what the hell are you going to do with a 10-foot skeleton for 11 months out of the year? Where do you put it? I know it breaks down, but I'm like, I don't want a giant skeleton in my garage for 11 years.
I will every single day of fall, I will walk him to look at other people's lawn decorations before I buy my own.
Yeah.
I will do it every day. I will drive him. We'll hit every town in Southeast Michigan. I swear we will.
But
That's the way to do it, though. That's what we do in the fall. We take the kids
Yeah.
for a walk around the block almost every night. We check out all the
Yeah.
Halloween decorations.
Yeah, I so desperately don't want to buy this giant skeleton. But he literally
Give it
knows
time.
it, and he goes, "I need to buy this,
Need,
Dad. I need to buy
not
bone."
even want. It's a necessity.
I know, and I'll buy it, and he'll look at it once, and then he'll just want to go
Never
see
again.
other. He'll want to go see other ones anyway.
But what else, peoples? If you need help with your fitness journey, like we talked about, whether you're new starting off or you've been doing this forever, or you got some aches and pains in your joints, if you head to core4supplements.com, we have joint flex gummies that are fantastic. We have a collagen protein, which is fantastic for your joints, for your hair, for your skin, for your nails. We have whey protein that tastes delicious, and it's all the best stuff on earth. Again, if you head to core4supplements.com and you buy whatever you want, when you go to the checkout, if you use the code word podcast, you'll save 10% off of your entire order. So you get a discount for being a watcher or a listener. And if you spend over $100, we ship it all to your house for free. So you kind of get a double bonus. If you want to use the podcast coupon, you can still, and you get the free shipping on top of it. But like I said, if you spend over $100, free shipping on everything. And if you listen or watch the podcast, just make sure to use that coupon code when you check out so you get your 10% discount. But
Heck yeah!
that is all, peoples. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great rest of the month. I may or may not be here next week. I have to get 3 fillings in my teeth. And I've never done them before, so I don't know how it's going to go. But we'll see. If not, Evie Boy will handle it, or I may be here, but zonked out.
Oh,
There they are.
That would be
Back again
great.
with the balloons and a thumbs up. But that's all, peoples. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.